Hello, what's up guys? So guy Proms once again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm talking about license conversion. How to convert your local driver's license to a German driver's license. If you're ready for this video, stay tuned. Hello, what's up guys? Welcome back again to my channel. If you are new to this channel, do well to subscribe to my channel. On this channel, I make videos like this on how to live your best life in Germany. So in this video, I'm talking about license conversion, how to convert your local driver's license, for my case, a Ghanaian driver's license, to a German driver's license. But if you're wondering if you could use your local driver's license in Germany, I've done a separate video about that. You can go and watch. I'll put the link here so that you can watch that video. I want to say that there's a little difference between conversion of driver's license and making driver's license in Germany. If you want to convert your driver's license to a German driver's license, you are not required to take the mandatory theory classes, and you're not required to take all the practical lessons, as in the mandatory practical lessons. But if you are starting from scratch in Germany, you are required to take the mandatory theory class and the mandatory practical lessons, and that adds up to the cost. So what is the first step if you want to convert your local driver's license to a German driver's license? I would say you have to find a Fahrschule. A Fahrschule is like a driving school in Germany. Unlike in Ghana that you can sit home and learn how to drive and apply for a driver's license, in Germany the only way you can get your license is when you pass through a driving school. So the first step is to find a driving school. One thing you should know is that in big cities they have driving schools that offer classes in English, but most of the schools offer the classes in German. If you want to find a school that does their lessons in English, you have to make sure in a big city like the Hauptstadt, Berlin, Frankfurt, these big cities, you are most likely to find a school that does lessons in English. After signing up in a driving school, you are supposed to register in the Verkehrsamt that you are converting your local license into a German license. During the registration, some documents will be asked of you, a translated version of your driver's license, as in the English form of the driver's license wouldn't be accepted. The information on the license have to be translated into German, and the company I know that does it best, or the company that almost everyone does it with, is ADAT. You pay them, I think, around 56 euro to do the translation for you. Not only the translation is required, you need first aid and eye test. The first aid class are organized in the various cities in which you find yourself. You can register online, or your driving school can help you find a first aid class section that is happening in your city. Mind you, most of the first aid classes are done in German, but they are easy to understand because they are more practical than theory, and it lasts for about 8 hours, as in it's a whole day section. After you get a certificate that you've completed the first aid course and you do an eye test, and these documents must be submitted together with the translated version of your driver's license with your passport, your Aufenthalt allowance, and 2 passport pictures to the Verkehrsamt. After the verification of your documents and your license, you'll be allowed to take the theory test, and if you pass, you move forward to take the practical test. So the theory test is a 45-minute test that comprises of 30 objective questions, videos, road signs, everything you need to know about driving. But there are learning material. There are apps that contain over 1,200 questions. If you learn these 1,200 questions, out of these questions, 30 of them will come during the exam. So if you master these 1,200 questions, you are 100% certain that you will pass the exams. I will make a separate video about tips when it comes to passing your driving test exams and your practical exams. After passing the theory exams, you move on to do the practical exams. The practical exams is also a 45-minute drive with your instructor and the examiner. During this 45 minutes, you do series of exercise like power parking, backpacking, emergency brake. You drive on the autobahn, you drive on the countryside. Like, you do almost everything you are taught during the practical lessons. And if you pass the practical exams the same day, you get your driver's license. One thing you should know is that you have to give your local license to the authorities in order to have the German Foregin, as in the German driver's license. So the German driver's license is valid for 15 years. That's a lot of years. But you should know when you get your license for the first time, for the first 2 years is prototype, as in probation time. Make sure during the first 2 years you don't drive carelessly, you don't run traffic light, you don't cause any major accident. So the license given to you is not permanent. It can be taken away from you by the authorities. If you break a lot of rules during your probation time, or you cause a major accident during your first 2 years of probation, your time might be increased to 5 years, or in a worst case scenario, your license might be taken from you. If your license is taken from you, you will have to take a lot of expensive seminar and take the idioting test, as in literally it means test for idiots. So after going through this process, your license will be given back to you. Since I'm talking about driving, let's talk a little bit about accidents. Since I was talking about driving, I decided to do this short video and talk a little bit about accident. So that was definitely an accident, and you don't even have to call the emergency service. Someone else who witnessed it will call the emergency service, as in the police or the fire service or the ambulance, because that was a big accident. And I'm not talking about big accident, I'm talking about the very small ones we ignore. I'm talking about the very little ones, like if you hit a dog on the street. In my country, it's not really a big deal. Or if you scratch someone's car, or you hit, or you scratch the traffic pole. These little things that we ignore back home are like great offenses here. And I advise you call the police if any abnormal thing happen on the road, like no matter how little it is. It is better to call the police yourself than to leave the case to someone, for someone else to call the police, because trust me, someone will be watching, or a camera might capture you. So my advice for you is, if anything happens, if anything out of the norm happens on the road, it's better that you call the police yourself and tell them. If it is small that they will let you go, fine, but do not leave the scene and let someone else cause and report you.
Consider yourself warned.
How expensive is the German driver's license, or how much does it cost to get a German driver's license? So the cost of the license depends on the person involved. For me, I paid 1,200 euros to get my German driver's license. That is relatively cheap as compared to what people pay, because I was able to do my license in the first 6 months when I came to Germany. And for the first 6 months, you are allowed to use your local license to drive. That means I didn't do a lot of practical sections during my driving school, during the time I was converting my license to German license, and that helped me to cut down a lot of costs. But it's not easy to get your license in the first 6 months. So usually people pay between 1,500 to 2,500 euros if they want to convert from their local driver's license to a German driver's license. But if you want to start from the scratch, then you are supposed to take the compulsory theory classes and the compulsory practical lessons, which adds up to the cost, and people pay like between 2,500 to 3,500. That is if you don't fail any of the exams. If you fail any of the exams, you have to re-register for the exams, and that will add up to the cost of the driver's license. So we've come to the end of this video. I hope you find this video very informative and educative. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Like always, the name is Promzy, and I'm signing out. Peace.